The Never-Ending Tour and the Nobel Prize. A Life on the Road. In 1988, Bob Dylan began a journey that has never truly stopped. He set out on a tour that fans came to call the Never-Ending Tour, playing a huge number of concerts year after year, in country after country. Rather than resting on his fame or retiring in comfort, Dylan chose to keep performing, night after night, treating music not as a past triumph but as a living, daily practice. Even now, well into his 80s, he continues to tour. From decline to revival. The 1980s had been an uncertain decade for Dylan, with some albums that disappointed the critics. But at the end of that period and into the 1990s, his creative power returned in force. Working with sympathetic producers, he made records of great beauty and depth. The most celebrated of these, Time Out of Mind, released in 1997, dealt with age, mortality, and lost love, and it won the highest honors. That same year, a serious illness nearly killed him, which gave the album's meditations on death a haunting reality. The late masterpieces. In the 21st century, far from fading, Dylan entered another remarkable period. He released a series of acclaimed albums, including Love and Theft, Modern Times, and Tempest, full of blues, history, humor, and dark beauty. He also recorded albums of classic American standards, the kind of songs made famous by singers of an earlier age, showing his deep love and knowledge of the whole tradition of popular song. The Nobel Prize. Then, in 2016, came an honor that no songwriter had ever received. Bob Dylan was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature, the same prize given to the greatest novelists and poets in history. The Swedish Academy praised him for creating new poetic expression within the great tradition of American song. It was a historic decision, and it raised a fascinating question that people still debate: can the words of a song truly be considered literature? A controversial choice. Not everyone agreed with the decision. Some argued that the Nobel Prize should go to novelists and poets who wrote for the page, not to a musician. Others celebrated it as a long overdue recognition that song lyrics can be a serious art form, reaching back to the ancient roots of poetry, when all poems were sung. Dylan himself reacted in his usual mysterious way, staying silent for a time and choosing not to attend the ceremony, before finally accepting the honor. The Voice That Keeps Speaking. In 2020, Dylan released Rough and Rowdy Ways, his 39th studio album and his first collection of new songs in 8 years. Rich with reflections on art, history, and death, it was hailed as one of the finest works of his late career. With it, he achieved a record no other artist had ever managed: a hugely popular album in every decade since the 1960s. The old man still had something urgent to say. A living legend. Today, Bob Dylan's influence is everywhere. His life and early career have even been retold in a major film, introducing him to new generations. Yet the real Dylan remains where he has always been happiest, on stage, guitar or piano in hand, transforming his old songs into something new each night. From a quiet town in northern Minnesota to the Nobel Prize and beyond, his has been one of the most extraordinary journeys in the history of art.